Okay, time to do a video. I did one just before, fucked it up, and I talked too much, so I'm going to try and get it done in the time that it takes for this awesome Vinny Paz and the Brothers of the Stone music to finish. And I'll turn up the background for a bit of music. Okay, so what I'm working on here is something very similar to 0 Point Energy, and what was, I'll get rid of this rubbish, what was being worked on about 70 years ago, before the Nazis fucked it and all my friends got killed, and then I moved away somewhere else, and then I died, and now I'm back, and I'm back. It took me 25 years to build up the courage to fucking talk about this to people, because you try to tell them stuff and they tell you you're crazy. But when you can work the science out, it doesn't matter, because it's about what you can prove, right? And identity is transient anyway, so who am I? That's the question. I could skip past it. So look, yeah. We start off with the obsession I've had with the Star of David, and what it is, it's like a reverse gravitational bonding of basically anything. It doesn't have to be matter, any specific piece of matter. You don't have to get like a stone or anything like that. You can pull it out of thin air, and how I've come up with this idea is obviously from this weird memory I have of looking at this thing that looks like that thing from the Hellboy movie, except it's not a portal to hell. You're a fucking retards. And to anybody who's related to the Nazis that killed people thinking it was a portal to hell, I'm sorry that you had to be related to those people. It's sad, but you're right. I said you're alright, not you're right. Don't, Nazis are fucked. But look, it's 0 Point Energy. So basically, you're working on matter is held together by layers of ether and like basically patterned geometry, which is shaped by the sound. As they say in the universe, in the beginning there was a word, and the word shaped all things. Now this word is from outside this dimension. This vibration is from outside this dimension, shapes this dimension, and all the matter in this dimension. Now, you can reach into the space from which this energy and this sound comes, and you can access this energy, as David Wilcock has written a book about, and many other people have talked about, Buddhist monks, and there's a healer somewhere in South America David Wilcock talks about called Panchita. There's all these people all around the world that understand this as magic. This is not what it is. It is basic interaction with the universe through our primal nature, which is our energy fields. This science I call Magnesis. Magnesis is the basic interaction of energy fields. I call it Magnesis because of a dude who at one point originally started playing with magnets and figured out that they had energy fields, and that he asked the question, what would happen if two overlapping energy fields if two energy fields were overlapped or more, and if they would create a different effect than a normal magnetic field. Now, this led me to question other things like, do you think it is possible that other things like human energy fields and the basic energy field of everything that is nothing, say the void, Wu Chi, whatever, it could be overlapped or kind of not unraveled, but opened a little bit, kind of like a flower, and we get to see that rose bloom. Winks, get it? Funny jokes. Fucking. Anyways, so yeah, the two means of things you can do with this. Okay, there needs to be some sort of funnel to drain the energy out that comes out of the aperture. So there needs to be something that's part of the thing that holds up the structure. That put it into a chamber. Now this chamber would need to be adaptive. Obviously I'm just the ideas guy, not a scientist, so I'm ideasing. Somebody help me do the science. The chamber would then, this version of the chamber would create a liquidy type plasma state. This would still be made up of what I call Maceleon state matter, which contains the pre-building blocks for everything in existence, including every possible DNA code and any sort of matter you can imagine, from a diamond to a flower to an extinct species of animal to weird things like maybe cloning yourself. I don't know. But it would literally be another you, so you would be watching you do stuff. It'd be kind of strange. But yeah, what I would use it for is obviously creating materials so you don't have to mine them from the earth, and creating pure water sources so that we don't have to taint natural water sources, so that we can have our own resources without tainting the beauty of the natural world. Also, you can synthesize natural medicines from nothing. There would be huge profit in this, but at the same time, the invention of this technology would mean the end of any sort of economy or need for, not economy, but the end of any sort of need for monetary exchange, because resources would become unlimited. And I'm thinking I might have, yeah, we ran out of time for the end of that video because it switched and the Brothers of the Stone thing kind of ended. But the second half of this is for portable versions of this technology. So if you have small versions of this pre-programmed, and sorry, how this part, I realized I didn't explain that. How this part works is it applies sound. So okay, you put all this kind of stuff together, plus a few of the things that I've gotten out of here, and some weird dreams I got after reading this stupid book here, the Mercurius one. It made me really mercurious. Yeah, anyways, back to the Cosmic Octave. So, like, okay, the Prima Materia holds building blocks for anything in existence, right? But it's not shaped without the word, the sound, as is described in the ancient Vedas, as is described in the Bible, as described in any ancient religious text. At some point, God explained to someone somewhere how this all works. That person, whoever, which one you want to pick, tried to explain it to everyone else, and you just didn't get it. So this is the last ditch explanation, and after this, if you don't get it, well, fuck you guys, that's it. But yeah, like I said, Aperture creates the Prima Materia. Prima Materia is shaped through acoustic and sound wave manipulation. So the sound wave manipulation, how you understand that is, every time you play a sound, it will shape matter into a certain geometric pattern. If you use this science to find what makes up every specific piece of matter, or like what keeps it in that shape, so like why water is water, why a stone is a stone, then you figure out how to make the Prima Materia into that matter. You can infuse this energy into and only into pure crystals that you can see through, that look like they can hold light and give off light, because this is another kind of light technically, and it needs to be aerated, I guess you would say, because it's kind of like the opposite of radiation. It does not damage things, but if you hold it in, it kind of amplifies itself and the crystal will crack and explode. But yeah, this is crystal infusion and diffusion, whatever. You can use the opposite version of this apparatus to extract crystal energy from the crystal and put it into something somewhere else, or power something else, obviously. You can obviously use a less complicated version. You don't have to have all the rotating not magnets. These are rotating magnets. These are rotating mirrors and refractors and stuff like that to make sure that the energy and the crystals have to be cut at the right shape, each one, I think, depending on the makeup of the actual the crystals. I'm still looking into all that and how it works, but this is where I'm at right now, and I hope that you're happy that I bring you up to speed for the fucking whoever watches this. Peace.